Do you like Black History Month? I mean, personally, I don't have anything against Black History Month. The problem with Black History Month oftentimes is that it's in the hands of the Afrocentrists. What this means is that they're not going to talk about an actual historical event, invention, cultural aspect that belongs to black people. No, they're going to take something that the black people didn't invent, and they're going to do this masquerade once again, this vulturing, where they say, oh, look, actually it was black people that invented this. And it's not true. I care about the truth, you see. I'm truth-centric. I'm lie-phobic. I'm a truth supremacist. And so that's what we're talking about today. Blue jeans, my friend. Blue jeans. Apparently, blue jeans belong to, it says, Facebook, Jade Bryan, clown. Blue jeans were created by black people. Okay. How denim became the symbol of black resistance. And he says, denim originally functioned as workwear by black enslaved people, aka slaves, and was considered unfit for anyone else to wear. Why do black Americans keep saying jeans were invented by black people? Great question, Reddit, r/no stupid questions. No, that's a good question, actually. There is a good question. Of course, I'm going to give you all the history right now. I didn't prepare it because I'm a Muppet, but I will show you some iconography too. Blue denim pants are quite old, but specifically blue jeans with riveted seams are created to Jacob Davis and Levi Strauss. If I keep scrolling, blue jeans were made by black people. Look at this, the truth. We need the dark history of blue jeans. Damien didn't say this. The black history behind blue jeans, everything, black history created. And it says, in fact, I'm going to open it very quickly. There is a Facebook post, but let me just open this so we know what we're dealing with before I tell you the truth. But at least we know what we're dealing with. And of course, AI agrees with it. Sorry, I got to show this. AI overview. Blue jeans are deeply rooted in black history, originating from the labor of enslaved people who cultivated indigo and produced the durable cotton fabric. Nonsense. Not that it's nonsense. This did happen, but it's not where they originated. Problem is, so many people are pushing this nonsense now that, of course, AI is gonna draw from this and vomit it back on our screens. And you know, it's crazy because it's actually so interesting, and I'm telling you the history now, but it's so interesting to know the truth about it. It's fun, and it has to do with the words that we're using, and you're going to think about it, you'll be like, oh my gosh, this makes so much sense. But I want you to see this. I want you to see, right, that you go to posts like this, and it tells you blue jeans were created by black people, and originally called, I'm not going to say it, cloth. Wear your cloth with pride. When black creates, white people take. Of course it's going to be about, we knew it, right? We knew it. Oh, but remember, this is not happening. Reclaim what create or start. So you have to reclaiming what is ours, say, African-American Afrocentrists. Of course, not every African-American thinks this way, and I know I have plenty of subscribers who are black and appreciate that I respect you enough to tell you the truth. How about that? So what is the truth, dear Metatron? All right, so we were just told, right? Strauss, Levi, what they do is that they are patenting, okay? They are creating a patent in America, and they take these worker, very sturdy trousers/pants, and they add the copper rivets, the seams, if you will. They create what we today think of as we imagine the denim, so the blue jeans. They patent it, they mass produce it. Now, is it true that they were also given? Yeah, because they were worker clothing. And in fact, initially, they weren't even called the way we call them today, like denims. They were called overalls, a term we still use for a specific item of clothing. I think they were called, don't quote me on this, but I think they were called like lower waist overalls, whatever. Eventually it becomes popular in the 60s, and so it becomes, that's where the term in fact explodes, and we call them denims. They used the term before though, and I'll tell you more about it. Okay, so they are the ones that are profiting from it. They are the ones that create the final product, which is what we know today. So we could consider it an American invention, even though one of them was actually a German immigrant, if we are really going to get technical about this. But the truth is that they did not invent a piece of clothing. Black people didn't invent it. The slaves didn't invent it. But neither did Strauss and Levi invent the clothing. They took it from a 17th century type of sturdy worker clothes, specifically trousers/pants, that was popular in 17th century France. In the city of, see if you can guess it. I'll show you so we get a little bit of, you don't have to stare at my face. It's gonna make your mind blow, guys. The truth is so much more interesting than this nonsense of politics. I'm gonna say it. You got 10 seconds. Okay, someone said it. You got it. Nîmes, southern France, Occitan. So, de Nîmes, denim. That's where they got it from. De Nîmes. And then it, accent, whatnot, it becomes denim. But did the French in the 17th century invent it? No, my friend. Do you want to know who invented the actual clothes? So, the French in the city of Nîmes were producing these. But they got the textile from, well, we know because we can read the records, they called them tissus or tissue de Gênes, meaning Genoa. They are Italian as an invention. Thank you very much. Gênes is how they write it. De Gênes. Tissue or tissu de Gênes. Gênes, it's spelled with a G, but the French pronounce the G as a J, right? De Gênes. So when the British buy it, they spell it with a J. Gens. Jeans. And that's where we get it. So they are from Genoa. If you appreciate my content so far and wish to help ensure my ability to continue to tell it how it is, regardless of any possible backlash, please support this channel on Patreon. Any support helps me and my team of academics keep the channel strong and gives us the means to fight back against the political rewriting of history. Stand with us, form the wall, defend the truth. Now, is the blue jeans the actual modern invented by the Genoese in the 15th century even, but definitely early 1500s, 16th century, that's when we know it goes back to. No, they didn't invent the modern one, but the original worker pants were Genoese. And in fact, even though they become worker-specific in France, in Genoa, they were mostly used by sailors because it was a maritime power. Now let me show you something that is going to blow your mind completely. Are you ready? What a stream. Check this painting and tell me that doesn't look like jeans. Look at the seams. Let me see if I can zoom it. Let me make it full screen. But yes, we have unnamed painters, unfortunately. We don't know who the painters are, but this dates to the 17th century. We have paintings that show that the material was actually quite close. That's what we're talking about. And we have both skirts and pants, trousers represented. And in fact, there is even a piece of painting, an iconography that I can see if I can find. I'll see if I can find it in a second, that shows the actual sewing of the pants, the trousers. And yeah, this is a little ripped. These are low class because, of course, this was for the poor and the workers. This was meant to be used for work. Now, we don't have a lot. Okay, so it is a little fuzzy. It is possible that we don't have a piece of iconography or like a period source that tells us, yes, we invented them. But we do have them mentioned and represented in Genoa. And once again, the French in denim mentioned that they buy the clothes from Genoa, from the Genoese. So the origins is Italian of the type of textile, mostly for sailors, moves into France, use it for workers at large. Then, in more than 200 years ago, this German immigrant, together with the other guy that we mentioned, in America, sees this, thinks, as Americans do, man, I'm going to make money out of this. So they create a patent, reinforce them, add the copper rivets, give it to the working class. A lot of slaves get it, so it's not like I'm taking away the reality of the fact that there were plenty of slaves that were absolutely wearing them. I have nothing against that, as long as you don't tell me they invented it, because that's nonsense. And then, in the 1960s, boom, everybody wears them. Here we are. That's the truth. Let me see if I can find you the picture. I don't want to spend too long trying to find that image, But if I can find it in like a little while, quickly, I will show you. Well, you know what? When I edit this video out, I'll add the other painting, so at least there is a reason for you to check it out. How about that? As a VOD, as its own video, because you know I always transform live streams into videos. But yeah, there is another one. For now, you'll have to trust me. I saw it earlier on. But anyways, we'll do without that. But anyways, I showed you one of the pictures, and there are plenty of but like, you know, when they have those articles lists from the late, well, it's early modern period really, but from like 16th century, they write down, we bought 10 of these, 50 of these. They're mentioned. So that's that. Anyways, thank you. This is the truth, and I'm so annoyed by people who continuously try to change the truth. We had the age of information. This is the age of misinformation, and I am using that term specifically. Blue jeans were not invented by black people. They were invented by my people. Thank you. How about that one?